What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video from Firmly Unbound. My name is Miles, and Firmly Unbound, I used to say was, and may still continue saying, is an expression of exploration and freedom in work, play, and faith. But last night I had a realization that I came to where I realized that a lot of this philosophy of what it means to live firmly unbound is the identity of firmly unbound in and of itself is kind of like a philosophy, really is just living in complete confidence. And I watched something last night that made me realize why culture and what our culture is so important, and how culture really shaped who I am today. And this has really stirred up a really deep fascination within me and just an interest in just culture and society today, because I see a lot of the way that our culture is expressed, and culture oftentimes is just downstream of or is mostly influenced by media, music, TV shows, movies, these kinds of things. These are pieces of entertainment, essentially. Almost all of it is downstream of entertainment, and this entertainment fills us with different ideas and belief systems about life. And for whatever reason, these entertainment mediums tend to be the most influential things that shape our worldviews and how we approach the world. And with living firmly unbound, I truly believe that each individual will find the absolute best results in their life, not just with the financial success that they may want to achieve, or with the health that they may want to achieve, but with literally every aspect of life. Your mental health, your attitude towards life, all of these things kind of stream from how you approach life, and so much of that is attached to just your confidence level going into life. So just like, I'm gonna get into this movie here that I watched as a kid. And this movie, for whatever reason, I just watched it again last night with my wife, and it was her first time watching it. I've watched it many times, but it's been about probably almost 2 decades since I watched it last. And watching this movie, it's called Facing the Giants, made me realize how much of the messaging that I was being filled with as a kid in my developmental years, and how much it was against this kind of narrative that I see being pushed out in society today, really helped me now at 30 years old, doing very well for myself, very happy, like don't deal with a lot of the mental health issues that we see plaguing our society. I'm not riddled with anxiety. I'd have very little fear regarding just about anything. I just go through life with a high degree of confidence. And I realized that so much of this confidence came from the cultural things that I was being presented and kind of filled with as a child. And it breaks my heart and crushes my soul to know that there are not only young people that are being like filled with a very negative cultural message, but also like grown adults that are going through their life that have literally never really been filled with good positive messaging and messaging that will help build confidence. And so if there's like one thing that I would wish that I could do, and I'm just so desperately trying to figure out what the heck this is going to look like, if there's one thing I wish I could do with my life, it would be injecting society with more things that help them build confidence and understand that they are capable of achieving great things for their life, especially here in America, where you truly, if you are just born into America, I thank God every day that I was born as an American, because your opportunity to just live a well-off, prosperous life is greater here than anywhere else on earth. And it really breaks my heart that so many people don't believe that nowadays. So I want to show you some scenes from this movie, Facing the Giants, that I watched often as a kid. I watched it many times, and the scenes that really left an impact on me. I was watching this movie back and realizing there were these certain scenes where literally like the exact lines in the movie are like to a T the ideology that I ascribe to, the way that my mind processes through life, that I think has really led me to living a well-off, prosperous life where I am just like genuinely happy about life. So I want to get into this. I want to start with this first clip here. This clip that you're going to see is a kid that is new onto the football team. He got onto the football team as a kicker, and it's his first time ever kicking in a high school football game, and he misses his field goal attempt. And this is the conversation that he has with his dad after the game.
Dad, I don't even know why they let me on the team.
Did you do your best, son?
I knew I was going to miss it before I even kicked it.
Your actions will always follow your beliefs, David.
Dad, I can't even kick it straight.
And I can't walk. Should I just stay home and pout about it? If you accept defeat, David, then that's what you'll get.
And I don't even think there's much that needs to be said beyond what the father says here, because that messaging is just spot on. But what I think is so crazy to me is the fact that for whatever reason, that messaging just stuck with me. I watched hundreds of movies as a kid, but I am so grateful that my parents put this movie on for me. And for whatever reason, this movie just like touched my soul in a way that I remember this messaging. I've remembered it throughout the course of my life, that whatever I want to achieve is always going to start and end with my belief on whether or not I can achieve it. It's the whole reason, like if you come from my RV audience and see what I do with RV tours and whatnot, it's the whole reason I can even afford to buy an RV, and not just buy an RV, I bought an RV cash. That's like mind blowing to me. That is like, I can't even believe that I was able to do that. But at the same time, the only reason I was able to achieve that is because I actually started from a point of believing that if I want to buy a travel trailer RV cash, I can do it. And it started there. And I'm so, so grateful that I was raised in a culture, starting with my family, that instilled these beliefs in me, not just from my parents, which they had a huge impact on this as well, but just from the media that they presented me with, like this movie here. And gosh, I wish there was just more movies that had messaging like this one did today, that could reach more people, because I'm so saddened by how people just seem to be crippled with this belief that they can't achieve things for themselves, that they aren't capable of achieving a great life. Especially like they look at our society and culture today, and they look at the economy in America and think that they are just doomed for failure. And I understand having that belief, but actually choosing to accept that belief system in your core and just admitting and accepting defeat is like it's like a death sentence for your life. You're doomed. And gosh, I just wish people would not ascribe to that belief system. If there's like one thing I could change in society, it would be not allowing people to go down that path of believing that to be true, because it is truly accepting that for your life. And once you've done that, you're doomed. You're just doomed to that life for the rest of your life until you get yourself out of that belief system. So that comes to the next clip, where I want to show you guys where they are on the practice field, and you'll see what happens here. But this next clip really instilled a belief in me that I can achieve way more than I even might feel that I'm capable of, if I'm just willing to tap into that extra degree of just grit and strength and perseverance and determination. Like that, just going that extra little bit of effort over a period of time will yield great results in life. And I actually might be capable of doing a lot more than I actually believe myself to be capable of doing. So let's look at this here.
How strong is Westview this year?
A lot stronger than we are.
You already written Friday night down as a loss, Brock?
Well, not if I know we could beat them.
Come here, Brock. You too, Jeremy. I want to see you do the death crawl again, except I want to see your absolute best.
What, you want me to go to the 30?
I think you can go to the 50. And I want you to promise me you're going to do your best.
All right.
You going to give me your best?
I'm going to give you my best.
I want you to do it blindfolded.
Why?
Because I want you giving up at a certain point when you can go further. It's a good start. A little bit left. A little bit left. Your very best. Keep driving. Keep driving. There you go. There you go.
He's heavy.
I know he's heavy.
I'm bad at strength.
Then you negotiate with your body to find more strength, but don't you give up on me, Brock. You keep going. You hear me? You keep going. You're doing good. You keep going. Hey, Brock Kelly, you don't quit. Keep going. Keep going. Go, Brock Kelly. You don't quit on me. Come on. Don't quit. Don't quit. Come on, Brock. Two more. One more. Look up, Brock. You're in the end zone.
Oh man, now I know that a film like this does not have the high level like Hollywood production and acting, but that scene still, I mean, it moves me to tears as a very empathetic person, because I see the humanity in this scene where almost every human being alive is capable of more than what they believe that they are capable of. And they just need something to push them past the point of that discomfort so that they can see what they're truly capable of once they get past the idea of what they believe themselves to be capable of and what they are actually capable of. And I think that scene is another one that has really stuck with me, that as I've gone through life, I have held that belief that I am actually capable of even more than I believe myself to be capable of. So I just have to keep going and keep trying and keep doing more. And it has allowed me to try so many different things and fail like horribly. I mean, I did music for 7 years. I was performing on stage, I was producing songs, I was engineering music for other people, and I never succeeded at it. But the whole time I had this belief system that I can succeed at it if I just keep trying and just keep going. And I may not have succeeded in the music route, but that built the foundation for everything that I needed to go into selling RVs and be able to make that a really prosperous thing for my life with that knowledge and information I had through all the failure that I experienced in so many different ways, whether it was the production side of things or the networking side of things, having to go out and literally like perform in front of strangers, like all of these things, just having almost like a blind belief that I could succeed at it, even though I didn't, helped me to build up different characteristics about myself that allowed me to really succeed and prosper in another area that I found myself in with the RV industry later on in life. But it was all just this continual determination to just keep trying and keep believing that I can do more. Even if I don't have like the full belief yet, just try your absolute best. And I would hope that anybody watching, that you will just leave feeling encouraged that if you just try your absolute best at whatever it is you are doing, good things will come, especially if you do that for a long period of time. Like I 100% believe that anybody in any position in life within America, if you just truly apply yourself and give your absolute best and keep seeking new opportunities while giving your best, very good things will come for your life. Then the last thing I want to show is this clip here. So the coach of this head football team in this movie is going through basically every bad thing that could happen in life for him at this point. He has multiple losing records. He's getting word and hearing rumors and literally seeing firsthand that people within the community don't want him to be the coach of this football team anymore, that they don't believe he can succeed. And then him and his wife cannot get pregnant, and it turns out to be his fault. Like his body is not doing what it needs to do to be able to produce children. So everything is going wrong. And then he turns to God and just surrenders all of it to God. And this is something that, whether you believe in God or not, I think just the act alone, and granted, I believe in God. I believe Jesus is who he says he was, and that he died on the cross for our sins and he resurrected from the grave. And I will always believe that because I've just seen the evidence of that in my own life. I've also really studied like the historical accuracy of the Gospels and tried to understand that more deeply as well. But more than anything else, whether you believe that or not, I think when you are able to surrender your shortcomings and your hardships and all of the most difficult things that we experience in life to something beyond ourselves, there is a true freedom that comes from that I have a hard time really believing that like the human spirit in and of itself is capable of doing. So much of me getting through the most difficult things in my life, which, mind you, have involved me getting arrested and then having to go on probation where I was completely isolated from everyone in my life, lost my job, lost my friends, had to drop out of college. Like very bad things happened in my life because of my own mistakes. Surrendering it all to God was the biggest thing that freed me from that. So you see this clip here, how this man handles all of these hardships going on in his life. And again, these things stuck with me. So as I've gone through life and experienced serious hardship, I just naturally took the same actions because this was like the culture that I was filled with growing up as a kid, seeing things like this that just stuck with me. And it shaped how I deal with hardship in my life, and has really made life so much easier going through hardship when I know that I have a God that I believe in, that I truly believe is there for me as I go through my hardship. So let's watch this here.
I will love thee, O Lord, my strength.
The Lord is my rock and my fortress. Lord Jesus, would you help me? I need you. Lord, I feel like there's giants of fear and failure just staring down at me, waiting to crush me. And I don't know how to beat them, Lord. If you don't want me to have children, so be it. But you're my God. You're on the throne. You can have my hopes and my dreams. If the Lord never gives us children, will you still love him?
Oh man, so great movie. I would recommend anybody take a look at this movie. Like I said, it doesn't have the high level Hollywood production and acting like you might see in other Hollywood movies, but the messaging is so unbelievably good. It is so much of the messaging that literally has shaped my life, that has given me a very prosperous life, but not just prosperous like financially or with what I've achieved in life. Prosperous in the sense that like I have mental clarity. I don't deal with anxiety and fear, and like that's one of the biggest things. I truly legitimately feel like I only fear God and God alone. One thing you'll see is I'm out here in San Diego right now traveling actually. My wife and I are basically spending our honeymoon out here. I really want to go snorkeling in the ocean here in San Diego, and it actually is a lot more terrifying than I would have thought, especially because there's not like super high visibility in the waters out here. But it's something that I really want to do. And I woke up this morning after watching this movie thinking about how I need to give this to God. Like this fear and anxiety that I have with going in the ocean, I need to stop trying to control that myself and just pray and give it to God, because God will help settle my nerves and help settle my anxieties, and he will protect me as I go and explore the earth that he created. And he, gave me the ability and the interest in wanting to see and explore the earth that he created. And I know that as I dive into that, literally dive in to the ocean, he will keep me safe. He will keep me protected. Now, that could just be some fantasy land that you may think that I'm living in or whatever, but that mindset shift alone, whether it's real or not, which I do again believe it's real, will actually help me overcome that anxiety and that fear. And it gets me to a place where I literally don't fear anything but God himself, because there's nothing in this life that can stop me as I continually give these things to God that I experience in life. And I would hope that everybody watching here would take degrees of this into their own life and apply them as well, because as I just reflect through my life and try to think what has allowed me to get to the position where I am today, where I'm just living a life that feels so far beyond what I deserve. Like, what things got me here? And I think so much of it is just the cultural things that I was influenced by as a child, like this movie, that really left an impact on me. And like I said, if there's one thing that I could do to just make an impact with my life, I would want to just do as much as I can to put more things out into the world that help shift people's mindset into one of more positivity and belief and confidence. And that's what Firmly Unbound here is. I don't want to leave before saying that I believe you truly become firmly unbound when you understand and give your life to Christ, who died for your sins, so that you can be firmly unbound from any guilt or shame or any sort of weight that comes from knowing that we are imperfect beings who make mistakes. That is the first step in living in ultimate confidence in life. And then everything downstream from that just allows you to continually step and walk in further and deeper confidence, which just leads to greater things happening in your life. I truly believe that. That's the core of what it means to live firmly unbound. And that's what I'm just trying to promote here with this channel. And hopefully, God gives me wisdom and ideas for how to further expound upon that to a further degree than what I've been doing. So wanted to share this with you. Facing the Giants is the name of this movie, a watch that I would definitely encourage anyone to take a look at. A great movie for children as well in those fundamental years of just understanding how to process and go through life. So hopefully you appreciate this video. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you next time here on Firmly Unbound.